If you're looking for dad jokes, you've come to the wrong place. I don't do dad jokes here on the Rat's Ass Podcast. Your mama's fair game, though. From Hollywood, it's the world-famous Mojo Elliott here to rap about the stuff nobody really gives a rat's ass about. And since I've had a shot of whiskey to make me frisky already, let's just get cooking here. In case you're new to the show, this is how the Rat's Ass Podcast works. It's like responding to a post on social media or requesting a song on the radio, but you email your comments, observations, and questions to me about any topic that's on your mind, and I'll respond to them. No topic is off the table. Nothing's out of bounds. It is impossible to offend me, but I encourage you to please go ahead and try. Email them to ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Alexa, what day is it?
Today is Thursday, September 5th.
Yeah, S-H-I-T Day. So happy it's Thursday, heading downhill to the weekend. We can dig that. All right, you can hear the Rat's Ass Podcast anytime on Alexa, Spotify, and Apple. Plus, we're on just about every other podcast app where you like to get your freak on. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Thursday for your listening pleasure. All right, heads up before we get rolling here. Tuesday's episode called You'll Never Eat Yogurt Again was red flagged by Apple for using a music clip, so you won't find it on Apple. But it's on all the other apps that don't have a ginormous stick up their bunghole like Crapple does. All right, let's get into the cheese. Keep in mind, I don't read your emails in advance. My producer, Mr. Fleabag, forwards me your name, where you're from, and converts your comments, observations, and questions so I can read them on the fly by the seat of my pants. All right, we do this by rolling the dice to see how many emails I'm going to read on the show. 7, the lucky 7. We're going to get lucky today, my fiends. All right, Chris T. in Dothan, Alabama says, I'm not a fan of your podcast. Go back to radio. Oh, I love hate mail. I love it. I do. The object of the game here is to make you love me or hate me. Just talk about me. I don't care either way, because if you don't love me and you don't hate me, you're just a piece of milquetoast. So thank God. Chris, it's working. Tawny B. from Braxton, Mississippi says, your first 2 podcasts have really painted women in a negative light. Can you say something nice about the ladies? Well, you're right. The stuff I've talked about initially was designed to help men try to understand what makes you ladies tick. And let's face it, we're men. We need help. We're very simple creatures. All we need is a steak and a BJ, and we're good for 24 hours. You ladies, a little more complex, a little harder to figure out. But we love you. Jake D. from Eugene, Oregon. I don't mean to get political, but did you see where the government's internally telling its staffers not to use terms like manpower, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, mother, father, son or daughter, husband and wife? What do you think about this? Well, judging by what you've given me, I'd say it looks like motherfucker and son of a bitch are out. But hey, as long as prick, bastard, and asshole are still in play, Jake, it's no skin off my astrobula. And when it comes to politics on the Rat's Ass Podcast, what do we say? Who gives a rat's ass? That's right. Karen S. from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Is it true all of you California types eat sushi? Ah, Karen, this is a trick question, and you know it. It's a trick question, fellas. Remember this, whether you like sushi or not, when a woman asks you if you like sushi, it has nothing to do with eating sushi. Always say yes. When you say yes, you get a second date. Think about it. Derek in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Have you ever met Sylvester Stallone? I'm assuming you're asking this because The Tulsa King was filmed in Tulsa. And it's a great show, by the way. And since I live in L.A., you probably think, you probably run into Stallone all the time out there. See how I figured that out on my own? But the answer is no, I've never met Stallone. You should have asked me about his wife, though. Ryan from Boulder, Colorado. I'm writing back to tell you I didn't dump my girlfriend who slept with 33 guys before me because I've slept with 73 women before I met her. Okay, Ryan has emailed 2 or 3 times. I'd have to say he's probably emailed us more than anybody else. But I asked him to respond to this, too, by the way. First podcast, we talked about how women will tell you, I can count all of my lovers on one hand, giving the illusion they've had 5 or less. And a lot of men accept that. But the reality is you can count up to infinity and beyond on one hand. Try it. You'll see I'm right on this. But I asked him, did you dump her or did you keep her once you found out that you had coerced her into saying that she had slept with 33 guys because she tried. I can count the number of lovers I've had on one hand trick with him. Okay, but damn, Ryan, I'll tell you what, man, you two have done some serious bottom knocking. Got to think there's a country song in there somewhere to be written about you mother humpers. Where's Jelly Roll when you need him? Ava G. from Margate, England. Oh, I love it when I hear from out of the United States because it's very different. I think they look at us as being different. I think that's the attraction because I know I'm different. But she asks, I'm curious to find out what types of women you like. Oh, you're asking me what type of women I like. Well, I've always been partial to petite blondes who are smart and funny. And this is a deal breaker, though. Preferably, she is currently alive, Ava. All right, that's the cheese. Keep your comments, observations, and questions coming, and I'll give you my 2 cents that makes no sense on the next podcast. Send them to ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. We do the Gmail here on this show. ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. All right, here's your extra cheese for today. I went to see Beetlejuice at a premiere last night. And I know by my silence you're thinking I didn't like the movie, but I did. I loved it. I thought it was great. Maybe just one box shy of the original, but for a sequel, outstanding. Outstanding. Okay, now it's a story about bringing life and death together, same as the original Beetlejuice, and it's about a mother trying to bring her daughter into understanding life and death. And of course, I think it's Jenna Ortega who played Astrid, was fabulous in this film. Kind of reminded me of Wednesday in, I guess it's the TV show Wednesday. I haven't seen the movie. I saw it once. I think it's a series, but I thought she was kind of like that character a little bit. But overall, and I'm not a professional movie critic or anything like that, but just as somebody like you that goes and sees a movie, I would highly recommend and feel good about spending the money on Beetlejuice. Looking forward to Beetlejuice. All right, the 5-day work week is in jeopardy. When the pandemic happened, a lot of people worked from home. And it created this scenario here, at least here in the United States, where people don't want to go back into an office 5 days a week. There are certain jobs that require you to be in an office or in the field, whatever, 5 days a week. But we're talking about office workers here. And it might lead to even a 4-day work week. But people are really pushing back on the idea they need to go into an office 5 days a week. Now, the last job that I had, I ran 54 radio stations from my home office here in Los Angeles. I did that for 7 years. I worked as a consultant for 8 years prior to that and did everything from my home office. And not having to drive every single day made me more productive. Now, of course, when I was running the 54 stations where they were located all over the western part of the United States, I had to fly a lot. After a while, flying seems like fun. Get a jet around the country and do all this stuff. It started to suck real bad after about year one. But during the pandemic, I didn't have to travel a whole lot. But we used Zoom. Prior to that, we used Skype. But we found people were more productive by not having to go into an office. They felt more comfortable working at home, getting more work done. They didn't have to worry about all the pomp and circumstance. I got to shower, I got to get dressed, I got to go. They just basically wake up and went to work, worked all day, and stopped. Now, I think companies feel like we got to see you, touch you, and feel you to make sure that make sure we know who we're paying. To me, it doesn't matter. Quite frankly, I've proven the company I work for. We proved that people can be productive. I mean, we even set radio talent up with their own home studios during the pandemic so they didn't have to go into the studios. Shows were great. Ratings didn't fall. Sometimes they improved because people felt more rested and engaged. So knock this shit off that somebody has to be in the office 5 days a week, all right? There's a rumor floating today that just posted from Charlie Arnott at Outkick. Apparently, there's a rumor floating that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are over. Now, of course, I jumped on TMZ because I think TMZ breaks a lot of stuff first. They're reporting that it's bullshit. I mean, think about it, okay? Charlie's probably trying to engage people to tune in. It's the first day of the NFL season today. Baltimore, Kansas City. Kansas City tonight, playing the first game. We know Taylor will probably be there in the press box. We know the game from last year. So we'll find out. We'll find out tonight. You know, here on the Rat's Ass Podcast, we don't deal with rumor, we deal with facts. But the rumor is, if you're interested, Taylor and Travis are finito. A recent poll asked to rank the top 3 decades from the past 75 years. I found this interesting. At number 3, it was the 60s. Number 2, the 70s. And the number 1 decade people miss the most and rank the best is the 80s. I agree. I lived through it. I was there for all of it, and it was glorious. It was great. The debauchery was outstanding. But what's missing? The 90s. The first 24 years of the 2Ks. That's 34 years people just didn't give a rat's ass about. I'm thinking 34 years. I mean, my God, if you're in your mid-40s right now and you came up in the 90s and the 2Ks, your life has really sucked, hasn't it? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. The 80s were unbelievable. They were so much fun. Then we had something that kind of dampered the 80s a little bit that showed up more in the 90s, and of course that was AIDS. That was tragic. Slowed everybody down a little bit, but prior to that, it was just outrageous, an outrageous time to be alive. And I'm sorry to make you jealous if you were born in the 90s. So sorry about that. Did you know there's a book called Everything Men Know About Women that has 120 blank pages? It's true. Written by Dr. Alan Francis. And Tony, by the way, this might answer some of your questions from earlier about me saying something nice. You can get it for $7 on Amazon. They've sold well over 1 million copies, but it's blank. It's got a cover, and that's it. There's nothing inside of it. It's sold 1 million copies. That's how much men really understand about women. Okay? If you wrote a book, Everything Women Know About Men, if you left it blank, it would have never sold 1 copy. Guaranteed. You guys know everything you need to know about us. Steak and BJ. That's all you need to know. At the end of the day, though, who really gives a rat's ass? All right, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for being here, listening wherever you are. Email what you want to talk about on the next episode to ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Between podcasts, we can always catch up on the socials. Just search for Rat's Ass Podcast. We're going to do this again on Tuesday, September 10th, and that's a wrap.